Hey, what's up guys? My name is Rigo. Welcome to On Point Graphics. So how did we even get into t-shirts?
I had a vision.
The idea came from my girlfriend. She actually was the first one to throw it out there, and we were trying to brainstorm on different side hustle ideas because we were both going to college and we both had jobs. But at the same time, we were trying to pretty much come up with the side hustle to do on the weekends. We threw out a bunch of different ideas, but a lot of the other stuff required a lot more money up front. And the more I looked into it, the t-shirts looked pretty interesting. And I had enough money to get started. We started off in my bedroom with the smallest kit we could find. It was about a $300 to $400 startup kit. It had a cheap Chinese heat press, a vinyl cutter, and like 3 different colors of heat transfer material. So eventually we got to the point where we were no longer able to be profitable and produce t-shirts with the vinyl. It was costing us way too much time and money because the material to produce shirts is pretty high. We realized we needed to get into screen printing, and after doing a bunch of research, we started off with a basic kit from Ryanair. It was like $2,500. So we were 2 college kids. We were both working minimum wage jobs. So the $2,500 was like, but I didn't see a way we could save up and do it. It would take forever, right? So the website actually had a financing option. We did it. We were able to get the equipment, and once we got the equipment, we pretty much just got sucked into the life of printing, screen printing. It took over our lives pretty much. We became obsessed with it. We now had a payment, so it was kind of more like another push to really get into the business. Then at 19 years old, we leased our first commercial building, which was scary in itself. We had, everyone was like, "Are you guys crazy or something?" Because no one in our family, mine or hers, really owned a business like that. So leasing a commercial location was like, well, just take your time and build from the room and whatever. And we didn't listen to anyone. We pretty much figured it out. So that pushed us to figuring out how to get a business license. Then after you get a business license, hey, you need a resale permit. So we're driving to the courthouse, filling out paperwork. We're doing all the little steps. We're just pretty much getting forced into figuring all this stuff out because we wanted it so much. And then also at the same time, learn how to screen print, learn how to get blanks, learn all the steps there is to running a screen printing and embroidery business. So scaling back was one of the best things we could have done, and that helped us master our craft of screen printing and embroidery. We were trying to put out the best quality work, but our issue was we were taking on so many different things. We were saying yes to anything to walk through the door. Signs, printing on doormats, printing on lanyards, license plates, anything that came through the door, we were saying yes to. So that was another lesson we had to learn. We actually scaled back at one point, only took on t-shirts and embroidery. And we did that for about a year and a half to 2 years. And then at the same time, it was making us almost look bad if we were to say yes to something and then we did not have the physical time to do it. Although we had all the intentions to do it, it just came to the point where we were just, staying up all night just to do a set of 15 lanyards that the machine kept clogging up. The profit was probably like $30 or something. And so doing so much of this came to the point where we realized it's not worth it. It's not worth killing ourselves to take on stuff like this and still look bad at the end of the day because we weren't able to complete a deadline or something. And a lot of the reasons we would stay up all night is because we wanted to perfect everything. The first sale that actually made me quit my job, as funny as it sounds, was I made like $200 on eBay in one day.
The people on eBay, they won't stick.
Selling stickers. The idea just came to me. I don't know how I came across it, but I saw people were selling stickers on eBay. I looked for the most popular ones. I started reposting, everything I could find. And before you know it, I was making sales on eBay for stickers. And actually for a long time we did that. We sold a lot of items on eBay, a lot of custom t-shirts. At the same time, I was going towards the automotive type of stuff that I was into. And yeah, honestly, it took off. But literally the first day that I posted something on eBay and it sold, I think I sold like 3 things back to back. It was like $200. I think the next day I literally quit. I was working at Lowe's. I went in and I pretty much gave my 2 weeks notice. And just because it was simple math to me. I could make $200 here, or I could work 8 hours and make $60 because part-time was $8 an hour at the time, minus the taxes and all. And that was like in 2015, just not even probably a year after we started. So at one point, I actually did go back to work. And still the reason was that we wanted to keep growing, but the equipment was so expensive. We didn't want to finance stuff anymore. We wanted to try to save up and try to just get like our first conveyor dryer, a better heat press, stuff like that. So I got a full-time job working at the Walmart DC. The story with that is it was a full-time job. It wasn't like I was going a couple days. It was like 10 to 12-hour shifts. And so the way that pretty much worked out is I would go to the shop at 8 a.m., do as much work as I can. Like at 3:45, I would rush over to the DC, clock in right on time, drink my 2-3 monsters to get me through the evening, get out like at 1 or 2 in the morning, go to sleep, wake up, and do it all over again. So I did that for about a year. And that was actually a pretty well-paying job, but at the same time, you're definitely working for it. It was really hard labor, fast-paced type of job. But like I said, I knew it was temporary, so it wasn't that bad. So one of the biggest challenges we had in the beginning was trying to get clients. We had a few things against us. One was my age. Another was the lack of equipment and reputation. So being a younger person, it was hard to go to a school and get them to trust the school's, funds. So the same with the businesses. I would go in and try to get to the owner and try to give them a business card. But that really didn't work out because more than likely they were already working with someone. And at the same time, like I said, it's hard to trust a younger person that you never heard of, that has no work to show you pretty much at that point. And on top of that, I was working out of my house. But honestly, all it really takes for you to grow your reputation would be you just need a couple good clients, and they're really gonna spread the word about you, or they're gonna love your work and just share it and tell people about you. That happened to me here locally. I would say the very first one that actually did that for us would be, and I still work with them to this day, that would be Misty from Central and Iron Recycling. She was really the first client that would go around and just brag about me and try to bring me clients. And at that time I was working out of my house, so always huge thank you to her. So we do a lot of event work as well, and shout out to George and Loza. They were the very first customers I ever had that bought merch for an event, and that helped us grow in a different space as well. Loza throws maybe 4 to 5 shows a year now, and he's always including us in every show, so huge shout out to him as well. And when it comes to brands, we honestly never really printed for a lot of brands. It just really took one client to kind of put a highlight on us. Honestly, that client came right at COVID. It was starting to get to the stressful point. I was starting to lose a lot of orders. Obviously no one knew what was gonna happen, and I had about 2 weeks worth of work paid for already. As we got closer to finishing up all the work we had piled up, I hadn't received any calls. Everyone was just trying to cancel their orders. And I happened to be up, it was like 5 a.m. and I saw this red truck pulling a bunch of Gildan boxes. If you print t-shirts or buy a lot of t-shirts, you already know the white box with the Gildan logo. I just happened to see a pile of them in the back of a truck. And this was just a picture on Instagram. And so right away it caught my attention. And I have no orders at this point. And I see it, and it's a guy named Static Leo. So I clicked and I sent him a message and I said, hey, what's up, man? Looks like you have a badass brand. At this point, he was just printing a white logo across the chest. And so I messaged them. I said, we do a lot of automotive work. Check out our page, this and that. And his reply to me was, man, I've been looking for someone like that. Let's do a design with my truck. What happened then, I honestly did not expect it. He ordered 100 t-shirts. We shipped them out. As soon as he got them, he's all, let's do 500 more. We shipped them out, and before you know it, he's all, let's do 3-4 more designs. Let's do 500 each shirt. And then that was just got the ball rolling with brands. And from there, he kind of shined the light on us, and we just started getting a bunch of different calls from that point. And that really sparked the brand aspect of our business, because we weren't doing too much of that. If I had to choose maybe 3 of our top accomplishments, the first one I would say the fact that nobody helped us. We built this. There's not a single person out there that can say they built this business for us, or they helped us in some way other than obviously our customers that order from us. But from the ground up, we pretty much built it on our own. Another big accomplishment would be this building. We bought this building about a year and a half ago, and that was one of the things that never really, compared to all the stuff we wanted to do in the business, buying a actual building wasn't part of it in the beginning. As we got bigger and bigger, it did sound like an amazing dream. And the awesome thing is we have so much room to grow here. We're using maybe half of the space. The rest of it we're leasing it out, and that pretty much pays for the building itself. And then not to mention in the back we have so much room to grow. If we ever want to build another building, we already built actually a section just for wrapping. But we just have unlimited growth here, which is pretty awesome. One that we didn't really expect Like I said, when we started this business, it was just me and my girlfriend just trying to start a side hobby. As we got busier and busier, even when we took this on full time, our goals were just to pretty much make a good living for ourselves one day. And that's pretty much it. What we didn't really expect is to grow to the point where we actually needed help and needed employees. But just the fact that we took an idea, built something, some sort of business with it, and now that idea or business actually creates jobs and people rely on the income from On Point Graphics. That's just crazy to think that something we created generates money, and that money goes through and it helps to provide for 7, 8 families. And that's a pretty awesome feeling now that we got to this point. And that was one of the things we never really expected. So this video could just go on and on. There's so many things we can talk about, but I'm gonna cut it here. And as this channel grows, I'm sure we'll start sharing more and more. If there's anything specific you guys wanna know about, just make sure you guys comment down below and we'll be glad to create a video for it. Our goal is to try to do at least one video a week. And the big YouTube goal right now is to get to 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, this is a brand new channel. This is video number 2. So yeah, thank you for everyone for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.